Okay, well, I have a picture up here of 9/11, and you'll be seeing a lot of the tributes and the remembrance of 9/11 today. So I wanted to also remember 9/11. I remember exactly where I was. I remember seeing the horrific image of what happened that day. And so I just, whatever you do, keep it in your thoughts and your prayers, however you do. But I think this is something we should never forget. Um, Okay. Monday affirmation. Today I choose focus and gratitude. Monday is game on. I saw this quote last night as I was putting together this Zoom, and I thought it was very, very profound, not only for us as people and who have friendships and relationships, but also in business. Consider how hard it is to change yourself, and you'll understand what little chance you have in trying to change others. And, I never read that before. I don't know who the author is. It says unknown. But I thought it was a really important quote because many times I look at my kids and I think, oh my gosh, why are they doing the things they're doing? And many times I've looked at my friends and said, why can't they do this like I can do this? And many times, you look at other people and you think, if I could only change them, if they'd only do it my way, they'd be able to do it better. And, so I guess what the moral is just that people need to do what they need to do when they need to do it. And one of the best things that we have going for us, I think, is that we get together and we are all in agreement to better ourselves, keep ourselves stronger, have a great mindset, and we have a lot in common, all of us. And so I feel like that's what attracts people to what we're doing, is that they have a commonality in how they personally develop or how they keep their mind strong or how they want to live their life. And I think those similarities are what brings us together and actually tears us apart. So I'm very grateful for all of you because I think we all have a commonality in wanting to be better people and do better things. So today we're going to talk a little bit about our expansion, and we're going to talk about this as the weeks go by. But as we are rolling into our second week of September, there's a lot we could be doing in the fact that we're building our business foundationally, and we're also moving into the fact that we're going to be pre-enrolling people into our European Nerium family. And we talked a little bit about that this weekend in San Francisco. We had the incredible pleasure this weekend to come up to San Francisco with our Nerium family. We're staying at Chateau Johnny's beautiful house in San Francisco, and we were busy. We were busy from the time we got here on Friday until last night. I was just talking about going to bed at 10 o'clock and just, Robert and I are taking a road trip home today, and we got a lot accomplished. And we went over a lot of things at the regional that are were pretty fun to kind of remind ourselves about the importance of what can we do today to help us tomorrow. Basically, what can we do today for the things that we want to achieve? We talked a lot about, the roadmap to Lexus and what that would mean for us and the new people in the room, and how do we sustain that position and how do we go beyond that position. And so when you have some countries coming, it's a good idea to kind of reenact and revisit and relook at your list, right? And you want to really take inventory of the people that are in your company already of Nerium, that are in your business, and the people that you've talked to before about your business. It's a good time to look at those people because you never know who you never know. And also, I wanted to kind of show you these pictures because you can see that there's lots of countries around these countries that we're going into. Lots of countries. And what that means is typically, like when we went into Australia, New Zealand was very close after that. And that was because of proximity, right? And so when we went into Korea, Japan was very close to that. And then, Hong Kong. So be thinking about not just Germany and Austria. Of course, we want to think about that first because we're going there, but just think about all the countries that are surrounding these countries. And so it's about starting the conversation again with your people that maybe you've gone to before, and the conversation is maybe not so much about look at what I'm doing and I want to talk to you about becoming my partner and this and that, but more about what they're doing and what their country that they came from is doing. A lot of people can be a great resource for you without being a partner of yours or not coming into the business of yours. A lot of people could introduce you to the person that's right for you. That was the story of Micaiah. He met somebody here, Micaiah York, who has a huge Japanese team. He met somebody here in the United States that wasn't really interested in the business, but then that person introduced him to somebody that was very interested in the business and helped him open up the country of Japan for his team. So basically, we're going to learn to be a master asker. And I think that a lot of us have gone over this kind of training before at Nerium and at conventions, and you've seen maybe, different speakers talk about ask questions. And we talked a little bit about that this weekend as well, reminding ourselves to become master askers, that asking questions can really save us a whole lot of time and give us a whole lot of information. And so one of the things that I think is really important when you become a master asker, and especially if you have new people on your team, you want to use the tool of the three-way call. And it's a great way to help a new person get into their network to ask questions. And one of the ways that I have an example for you is basically, if you have a new person on your team and you want to get into their network, or yourself, you have a network of people that you'd like to go back to and maybe ask them a couple of questions about if they're from Germany or they know somebody from Germany or Austria, getting a three-way call together on that is a really fun way of doing it. So you can partner with your upline, your sideline, your downline. It doesn't really matter, but what you're going to do is you're going to put a list together of the people that you want to talk with. And you're going to sit down with whoever it is, or, if they're not with you, whatever, you're going to get them on the phone, and you're going to start to go down that list with already prepared questions. And the idea is that, let's say, I'm wanting to call some people on my list, and Robert is going to be my expert. And I say, okay, I want to call, my friend Francois. Francois is somebody that I've known for a long time. He actually is from France, and he may know some people in Germany. Not sure if he's interested in Nerium, but he would be a good resource for us to call and maybe ask some questions. And so the whole idea of calling Francois from my list is I call up Francois, or I text him, or however I communicate with him, and I say, hey, Francois, my business partner and I are, we're doing some market research for our company, and we're about ready to go into the country of Germany. And I know that you are from France and that you may know some people from Germany or Austria, and I really respect your opinion and the fact that you're from, France, and that you know people. And, eventually we're going to probably be asking you some market research about France anyway. It would be a great help for me if you had 5 or 10 minutes of your time to answer a few questions. And he's a good friend of mine. So he's going to say, sure, Annie, I'm not sure when that is going to be, but I'll say maybe, hey, I'm available on Friday, or do you have like 5 or 10 minutes for my partner and I to ask you a couple questions? And what we've basically said is, my company has asked me to do some market research. This is not a crazy question to say to somebody. It's not a crazy thing to say, oh, my company's looking for some information about your country. And it's an easier way to kind of not only find out where your friends are at, but it makes you more interested in what they are doing, where they're from, what they have to offer. And you learn a lot. You learn a lot, not only about them, but you learn a lot about where they're from, and it really will help you. So it's not like you're just randomly calling people for market research. It's good for you. It's good. And by the way, you can do that for, hey, my company has asked me to do some market research about Oklahoma. My company has asked me to do some research about Los Angeles. My company has asked me to do some research about, Valencia, California. So you can do that anywhere on the globe that you want, because market research is market research. And you want to have another person on the phone with you, because the idea is that the two of you have been asked by the company to really dig way down, and that person who's not friends with your friend has the ability to be the one to kind of help with the questions, to be the one maybe doing the conversation for you. Okay, so it doesn't make it awkward. And that person is going to, and by the way, the next, this page is a bunch of questions, but they're not, they can be any questions, you guys. You can come up with whatever questions that you're comfortable with, and questions that you might honestly have. You know, which part of the country are you from? So if you're from, hey, you know, Francois, I know you're from France. What part of the country are you from? You know, and oh, you have a friend in Germany. Where are they from in Germany? Do they live in the capital? Where do they live? In your opinion, you know, do the people that you know in that country, do they enjoy health and wellness products? You know, basically you're saying, are most of your friends into working out, health and wellness, being, you know, as healthy as they can? He's going to know who his friends are and what they're up to, right? Because they're his friends. And if so, which products, you know, are you aware of that that are most popular with your friends? You know, what do they like? Do they take supplements? Are they into, you know, are they into organic? Are they, you know, very sensitive to a lot of, you know, the different things that are out there that may have caffeine in them, things like that. So you can go as deep as you want. In your opinion, do the people in your country enjoy skincare products? Is that something that you've seen, you know, a lot of? Is there a lot of the advertising on television? You know, I'm pretty sure in Europe they're pretty excited about stuff like that. But, you know, it's a good idea to ask. Do you have family and friends that still live in that country? Where do they live? Do they live here in the United States? Do they live in other countries? What countries do they live in? Maybe that gives you an idea of where his friends are all over the world. Do you and your family and friends have multiple streams of income? You know, do they just work a job? Do they work for somebody? Are they self-employed? Are they open to, you know, do you have friends that do Uber? Do you have friends that, you know, may do network marketing companies? You know, you're just doing market research. You just want to know what's going on. And if so, what sort of different things do they do in their job? You know, what do they like? And where do your friends like to travel? I mean, that's a big question right there. And it's a great question because, you know, this gives you an idea. Oh, okay, they like to travel in Mexico. That's interesting. Do they know people in Mexico? Why do they like to travel in Mexico? So now you're getting a really well-rounded view of your friend Francois, what he likes to do, what his friends like to do, where they like to travel. You know, he may say, oh, well, most of my friends all like to come to the United States. Wow, where do they go when they come to the United States? You know, would any of your friends or associates ever be interested in a new company that's expanding to Germany? It's a good question. Do you think anybody you know might have an interest in something that's going to be first to country to Germany or Austria? You know, and at that point, Francois could say, you know, I don't know, maybe. Hey, think about it, Francois, because, you know, we're going to be taking this company to Germany and Austria in the next 30 days, and we're going to present it to a bunch of people. I don't know if you know anybody that might be interested, but if you think of anybody, I would love to talk to them. So now you've gotten into your friends' network. You haven't asked them for anything but information. And if they might know somebody that has an interest, at that point, you know, your friend may even be inquisitive to you and might decide to start asking you some questions. And now you have your third party on the phone with you. So if you're the friend and this person says, well, what is it exactly you're doing, Annie? You know, what sort of business are you talking about? I don't have to be the one telling my friend. I have my third party tool there. So Robert, you know, oh, you know, it's pretty exciting. I'd love Robert to share with you what exactly we're doing. Now, Robert's a great person because he's traveled all over for every country that we've gone to with Miriam. He's opened up the country. He knows about a lot of the culture. And so he's a great person that can respond to that. And so I really encourage people to, if you and again, this can work here in the United States, where if you have friends that may be from any country, you can say, I'm just doing a little market research, trying to figure out some things for our company as we expand across, you know, the entire globe. So that can work right now in Japan and Hong Kong and Canada. It doesn't matter if we're already open or not. You can utilize that. Okay, so that was what I really wanted to talk about, you guys, and we're going to expand a lot about that. We talked about that over the weekend with the brand partners that we were here with Caroline and Johnny. And this was some of the pictures we took from our weekend. We saw a lot of people. We had a lot of fun. We did a Blitz Day yesterday with Sarah and Jen. We had a lot of people over all throughout the day. and sharing Nerium and sharing our Nerium family and just enjoying each other. And Michelle had an amazing RRP on Friday night, and we all got together at the regional and trained together, and it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun coming together and having camaraderie. And again, I'm a big proponent of, this kind of activity where everybody gets together, everybody helps each other, bring guests. And it was really cool being in, Jen's garage, because all of her neighbors walked down to her garage, and outside all the kids were playing, and she had hamburgers and hot dogs. It was super easy. We all got to know each other. And then, about an hour and a half or so into the party, Jen said, thanks so much for you guys to come, and said a little bit about what she was doing. And then, Robert kind of shared a story about EHT. And then everyone went back to kind of getting, knowing people, and we found out that a lot of people were already our customers. Some people were really interested in talking about the business. So it was a really easy, fun day. And I recommend that to everybody. And so anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments, but I will open it up to you. So please feel free to add anything that you'd like. There you go. No one has anything to add? Come on, you guys. I know you do. Hello?
Hey, Annie, it's Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I got on late. I'm sorry. What day is Germany opening?
The pre-enrollment is October 1st.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome. Anybody else have anything to add? Let me ask you, did you like the idea of being a master asker?
Yes, absolutely. And I want to say that this is a reminder, because, I've heard this before, but it's nice to remember. And I had totally spaced giving telephone calls and just asking those questions. I think that's huge, and it's going to help me this week. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's just changing the conversation. So you're mostly just asking people what, who they know and how do they know them and what they know. And yeah, does anyone have anything to add to that they might that might go along with that could help us all? Anybody have any feedback on that?
Well, hi Annie, it's Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi. I'm in the other room, so no. Well, what I wanted to add, and I know Francois is on here and everything. Just wanted to say, just talk to people and get to know them. Francois and I literally had 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of interaction when I was in France. And then we exchanged information and just got to know each other. And later on, Francois reached out to me to ask me about Nerium. So it's a matter of just talking to your neighbors, talking to the people around you, and getting to know people, taking the time to getting to know people. And, a lot of great leaders out there keep on saying, the top leaders in this industry have mastered the art of getting to know people and becoming friends and making friends. So just wanted to add that in. And I also wanted to add the fact that Robert and Annie are absolutely the biggest gem on this planet, and we are so blessed to have them in our lives.
Oh, Johnny, you're so funny. Well, thank you. You know what, Johnny, one of the things you said just now is so important, and Francois has been to, I think, 2 of our conventions already. He's excited about this coming to Europe. He's planning it all out now. He's building his team now 2 years in advance before France is even opening. So it's exciting, and he knows people in Germany. So that's a great story. It's a great story. Okay, anybody else have anything to add today? I really appreciate each and every one of you jumping on today. I hope this was helpful in your.
I'd like to just add and thank you guys once again for coming out here to San Francisco. Like I said, in the regional, you guys don't have to do this. You do so much for us, for your whole team, but you took the weekend time out to come here, partied all weekend, wore yourselves out, but did it from your heart. And, I think one of the main things from the regional that you did for us was really teach new brand partners that were there, but also brand partners that have been around for a while, that the key is doing RRPs. And everyone was running out of the regional, trying to pull out their calendars, trying to book RRPs this month. And so that's huge. Thank you. Love you guys.
And Caroline, as I said this week, I want you to talk about that, because that we went back to basics and we talked a lot about, where do you want to go? What do you want to do in this company? And, you can go as fast as you want, or you can go at your own pace. It doesn't matter. But the best, most foundational way to get there is by doing RRPs, doing 1 and 2 people RRPs, or doing 10 and 20 people RRPs. It doesn't matter. It's just doing them. And so, everybody was really excited to get out their calendars and really map it out for the rest of the month, and really put stuff on their calendar and be social and have fun. And you guys know how to have fun. That is the key. You have to know how to have fun. And it was a lot of fun. So thank you, Caroline, for that. And is anybody else want to share anything? Okay, so we will be here bright and early tomorrow morning. I hope you have an awesome day and start becoming a master asker and enjoy, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Annie.